Hi, I'm Bruce Dickinson from Cardiff Aviation Limited. It's a lovely sunny day here in Wales and this is Twin Peaks. Well, welcome to former Ministry of Defence St Athan. This is 132,000 square feet of magnificent hangarage with all kinds of bells and whistles inside, which is going to become, I think, one of the aviation centres of excellence in the UK. I do hope so, anyway. You can see from that picture just how big one of these hangars is. This is big enough for a Boeing 767, or actually we reckon we can get 2 or possibly 3 737s in here, or mix and match Airbus 319s or 320s. One of the little extra benefits we have with this facility is some of the equipment which has been gifted to us by the previous tenants, who were the RAF, who looked after this building, as you'd expect, in a very good way. Everything here, we've got big cranes here for the engines. We've got a massive computerized controlled storage system there, and staging, racking, all kinds of things that we need. But there's a few things that you can't see because they are hidden in one or two of these rooms. Let me show you. There's enough stuff here, let alone maintaining an airliner, there's enough stuff here to build an airliner. So stepping in here, this is one of 2 large machine shops. As you can see, all kinds of computer controlled cutting machinery, milling machinery, ovens, and next door, similar sort of setup. This is an unbelievable facility. To have this kind of stuff and have it in situ, operated, running, ready to go. Really, really remarkable. Got a welding bay in there as well. And in addition, which is essential for some of our future plans for the site, which will include later on down the line, component support, wheel and brakes overhaul, and engines. We've got, which is locked up at the moment because there's a few radioactive isotopes and things lurking, the NDT, non-destructive testing suite, and behind there, behind the little lead curtains, is where you'd get your turbine blades and wheels and brakes and things like that, non-destructively tested. Well, that gives you some idea of the size of just one of these hangars. We're on this little mezzanine floor at the moment, and underneath it we can put storage and things like that. But it gets a bit more interesting when we go into the next door hangar, because in the next door hangar we have a lot of equipment which I went ahead and bought because the scrap man was going to take it. I couldn't believe somebody was entertaining selling this stuff to the scrap man. It's virtually priceless because it enables us to do all kinds of special stuff. It's bespoke. It was built by a firm here in Cardiff, and so we will be modifying it slightly to change it from VC-10 equipment to Boeing's. But you can see this scaffolding here looks pretty space age. Absolutely sensational. What an asset to have here on the site, and they were just going to melt it down and throw it away. Our vision for how we do with a training organisation is that we would probably use these levels to put some fixed base simulators on over there, and we put a cutout in the floor, and a full flight simulator would operate underneath, bolted to the floor, but basically coming out, so you'd access it from this mezzanine floor, and then it would be operating on the ground floor underneath. But we also have access to full flight sims in various other locations as well for the final type certification of the pilots after they've done their initial training here. One of the nice things about the RAF is that they took safety extremely seriously, and rather than just have, as in most facilities, just a few little bits of fire extinguishers wandering around, they actually have foam fire cannons at various locations. So there's absolutely no question that if there was ever any kind of fire in this building, you can be sure it's going out. So, this is the staging that I was talking about. Basically, it fits around the tails of jet aeroplanes, enables you to work on them either in situ in the hangar or indeed outside on the ramp, and as such, extremely valuable. Also, we have other elements of staging here that allow us to, position people around the fuselage areas of aircraft. Very, very, very valuable asset, which, as I say, was looking like it might go to rack and ruin. So I rescued that actually before I secured the lease on the hangar. So no idea what I would have done with it if we didn't get the hangar. Never mind. So this is the footprint that I was talking about, where the simulator would be bolted to the floor. It has its own air conditioning system that we stick on the wall there. It also has its own hydraulic reservoirs and things. All of that can be fitted around here, sealed off from people that might wander into it whilst it was walking. So it's very easy to put a metal cage around it, and indeed you'd access it from the top, and it would have its own emergency fire exit down there, so that people could get out of the simulator in the event that there was a problem and the motion got stuck or something else like that. Well, this little guy here, I did inquire when I first came to the building, what's that? And the guy said, that's so we can pressurise the fuselage when it's on the ground and we don't have to start the APU and various other bits. I went, that's clever. But of course, for a normal civilian operator, it would cost an absolute fortune to put a line in there like that. But because it was the military, they did it. But it's a facility that's available to us. So pumping up fuselages and things like that, not a problem. We don't have to start firing up gas turbine engines in order to do it. It's a very, very good facility to have. Well, I'm standing on what was a runway here at St Athan. The real one is just over the hill there, and we're clearly not allowed on it because it's an active runway at the moment and there's an airplane just revving up. But on this particular taxiway, we can park countless aircraft, which is fantastic because those aircraft, where they're parked for care and maintenance, don't have to go into these hangars for release to service. So it's a really great facility to have. The runway itself is absolutely magnificent. Brand new runway, 6,000 feet with an ILS. We can get the biggest aircraft that we can get into the hangar, we can get up and down off this runway. Indeed, we can operate a small air taxi operator out of here with no problem whatsoever, and that's one of our first ports of call, is going to be trying to obtain a couple of aircraft to do VIP transport and medevac flights out of here in St Athan.